Hello, beautiful people. How are you all doing on this miserable, there's no other word for it, miserable Wednesday morning? Anyway, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're all having a lovely day and that the sun's shining for you, because it's certainly not shining in England or Hereford, to be precise. So without any further waffle, because I know I am prone to waffling, I'll talk to you about what I will be talking to you about today, shall I? So about a week ago, I noticed that this new makeup technique was lighting up YouTube. Apparently it's done the rounds on TikTok, although I don't really watch TikTok. I find it just far too fast and just too overwhelming, really. You know, scrolling. Right, okay. So it's the Aquaphor makeup technique where someone applies in fact, quite a famous makeup artist whose name I'm not going to mention now, but because it's been bandied all around YouTube, but he applies onto a female client just a thin-ish layer of lip balm, which it is in fact, because Aquaphor is lip balm, let's face it, guys. And then he goes in with concealer immediately afterwards and uses his fingers to blend it in. Quick layer of powder. However, you know, living on a little island in the Atlantic Ocean, it's not really that easy to get hold of Aquaphor, which is an American brand. I believe it's owned by Eucerin or Eucerin. I have to write that down here somewhere. If I don't, then do forgive me, because I'm feeling a little bit ropey today. So anyway, and this sheer fact that Aquaphor is just a lip balm got me thinking yesterday at work. I thought to myself, no, the day before yesterday, it doesn't really matter when I started, this idea dawned on me, but I thought, well, this Aquaphor stick, that's all it is. It's just a stick of emollients and beeswax and maybe the odd oil thrown into. Can't have magical ingredients in it. It just can't. So my channel being my channel, me being me, I've found two alternatives to Aquaphor, which you can buy in England very, very easily. They're easily, readily available in England. Easily, readily available? Doesn't make sense. So the first one is Nivea, good old Nivea, and this is the 24-hour moisture original care. This is although not identical to Aquaphor, the nearest thing that I could find, because I found a website that tells you what the nearest dupes are to certain products. Aquaphor was Vaseline stick lip balm, basically. This one is pretty similar to all, and they all do exactly the same thing, guys. They're all in a stick shape. They're all highly emollient with a mixture of oils and waxes, as I've already said. This was £2, something like £2.49, and I got these both from Sainsbury's. I'll show you this one in a minute. Little teaser there for you guys. And this one was slightly more expensive at £3.50. This is Blistex lip infusions hydration, and this has got spheres of hyaluronic acid and can do your washing up for you and possibly even mow your lawn for you too, although I doubt it immensely. No, I'm being dramatic there as usual. It's just a lip balm, and basically both of these are just lip balms, and this is basically what this entire tutorial is about today. Is that we're going to try this technique. I might try this, in fact, I'll definitely try this one on this eye and this one on this eye. And then we have a choice of concealers to go in with. We may even try the new Technic, and this is a dupe of Glossier's Stretch Concealer. So we could try that, although I have two shades of this. The one in warm tan is possibly, in fact, it is nearer to my skin tone. It doesn't look it, I get that, guys, although we can mix them up on the back of my hand, couldn't we, to get an exact, or a near as damn it match to, why not? I suppose you could ask yourselves, why am I doing this today? This makeup routine everyone's doing it on YouTube at the minute. There are, you know, small YouTubers to huge YouTubers doing this with various different variations, or variation, as I tend to say occasionally when I slip into my French accent or language, which I do quite regularly. So, yeah, why am I doing this today? Because basically it's all over social media in the minute, and I just wanted to let you guys know that there are two very, very cheap alternatives, or in fact any lip balm at all would just work just as well. Do try and get fragrance-free, and I believe this one, it could be fragrance-free. If I open it up and it stinks to high heaven of, I don't know, full of perfumed, or I'll be physically ill, but this one's definitely got something called aroma in, which is another word for fragrance. It is. So we were going to try the Nivea one first, weren't we? And I won't bother reading anything out. That's okay. So we'll just tear this one open. And as I said, I got both of these from Sainsbury's. And I didn't take much effort to find these at all. In fact, I said to David on our way home from work yesterday, I said, I need to nip into Sainsbury's. David needed biscuits. He's the biscuit bear. I needed lip balm, although I'm not a lip balm bear by any means. I'm more of a cake man than biscuits. But so this looks so much like Aquaphor, and quite a few. In fact, just one YouTuber I watched this morning, so not quite a few at all. I'm lying again. Such a naughty boy, aren't I? But no, one YouTuber I watched, an English lady who just, she's 69. I think her name might be Des. Hello, Des, if you're watching. It was really lovely watching you this morning. However, she used the Aquaphor ointment. Now the difficulties with using an ointment are the fact that it won't have anywhere near the same ingredients as something like the is that upside? No, that's the right way up, isn't it? As something like the Aquaphor stick or Nivea lip balm or the Blistex one. So something like an ointment will be more like Vaseline. It will, so that will have a heavy occlusive feel to it. And by applying that under your eyes, firstly, you're whopping something there which could lead to some kind of a reaction. Although lip balms could do that too. The heavier or the more occlusive the layer you put on around your eyes, the more risk you run of having a reaction, basically. So, and two, the fact that it is incredibly greasy, and two is the fact that any sort of ointment like Aquaphor ointment, which is designed to use on your elbow pads, dry skin or all over your body, will be incredibly emollient and therefore make it very, very greasy. So something like Vaseline we can't use around our eyes. And if you see that on YouTube anywhere, it's people just taking the technique a step too far, IMHO. So yeah, do try and get a stick, because the results will be much more matte or not as greasy, basically, as the Vaseline. So I'm waffling severely now, aren't I? So yeah, I was saying before, wasn't I, that does look like the Aquaphor, although it would, because it's just a stick lip balm. They all look identical, don't they, unless it's tinted. So without any further waffle, I'll just come on in, and I might zoom you in for this bit, or I might just stay as is. So yeah, and all I'm going to do is just, wherever I'm going to put the concealer, just apply a fine layer of lip balm. Now that just does feel, it's got that horrible sort of vanilla-y smell to it. So much for it being fragrance-free, eh? Let's apply a good old layer of this on here, shall we? So, just around her immediate eye area, put the lid on him. So it's Nivea on left-hand side, which will appear right to you guys out there. And with my ring finger, which is the weakest finger on your hand, I'm just going to, oh wow, that feels really, really, really greasy. You thought I was going to say really lovely and hydrating then, didn't you? It just feels really greasy or greasy. Although that should absorb, and it won't feel anywhere near as greasy as Vaseline or the ointment. So with the other eye, just get rid of all of this wrappings and rubbish which have now accumulated on my white sofa. I took the grey throws off in the end. They were just getting on my nerves. David's a big fan of the grey throws, although I don't really like them. Should have kept the receipt, really, shouldn't I? Because I could have taken them back and been 60 quid richer. Hey ho, right. Oh bugger, this one's called Lip Infusions Hydration, and I've just taken it out of the pack. And this has got clinically tested for long-lasting hydration. It doesn't say clinically proven, which would be more of an impressive claim if it did say that. Hyaluronic spheres lock in moisture, and it's got vitamin E and F in. And it comes in this lovely little blue pot tube thing, and again it just looks like your bog standard Aquaphor, doesn't it? It does. That looks just like Aquaphor. Now this one smells a little bit more promising, beautiful ones. Let's put some on the back of the old hand. Yeah, I think this one could be fragrance free, so why it's saying aroma on the ingredients, I don't really know. So this one's gliding on a little bit more, and this one was about £3.50. The Nivea was £1.50 or even £2.50. So this is slightly more expensive, although you can feel immediately that that's a lot better quality. Do you know what I mean, beautiful? Do you know what I mean? Again, with the ring finger, wow, that's just gliding on it. It doesn't feel anywhere near as greasy as the Nivea, although it's just providing my skin with a huge amount of slip. And wow, it just feels incredible. Oh, it just smells beautiful. Have a sniff. Shall I stop wafting my greasy old finger under your noses? Because we all know you won't be able to smell that. But so on this side is the Lip Infusions by Blistex. On this side is the old bog standard Nivea lip balm. And I might just leave those to sit for a minute while I go and make myself a quick drink, and then maybe just tidy the flat and there's a house and do some bleaching. No, I'm kidding, I couldn't possibly. So that side looks better than that side already, doesn't it? It does. It just looks paler. It looks like it's actually lightened up my under eyes, which would just be incredible if you could get that effect from a £3.50 lip balm, wouldn't it, beautiful ones? We're not going to stop there though today, because I've promised you, haven't I, that we're going to go in and try this Technic with ye old concealer. Now guys, I've got a plethora of brushes here. These are all my concealing brushes, some from Real Technique, some from basically all over the world. Not all over the world, I'm being an old drama queen there. All over England, basically from Ely. So, and this is the Stretch concealer, and this is in shade Warm Tan. Sounds ridiculous for someone who doesn't have a suntan, doesn't it? Although I have put swatches on this in a separate video, which I'll link into the description. And this is quite a close match to my Celtic chops. And if any of you beautiful ones out there have seen any of my videos before, you'll know that I have a passion or a belief that you need to try and match concealer as closely to your skin tone as possible, even when you're applying it under eyes. So, and that way, because we're trying to disguise darkness or areas we'd rather not have under our eyes. And what's the best way to make something disappear? Blend it into the background. And so that's exactly what we're doing by matching the concealer to exactly, or as near as damn it, as our skin tone. So I think I might use my finger for this actually, because it's going to be a lot easier, isn't it? So let's just get a little dollop of him on there. Can you see that? Hopefully we'll be able to put the lid on him, otherwise it's going to go everywhere. I was going to mix it up. Well, we could try this. I'll try it on this eye, and then if it's too dark, then I'll apply some of the other shade I've got in the Stretch Concealer's Buff. Although this one should work like a dream. That's slightly too yellow, isn't it, guys? Can you see that? And I don't like a lot of concealer on my eyes. And I can feel that's meshing or blending with the meshing with the lip balm, which actually stinks like an old ice cream or something. So I'm not a fan of the smell of the Nivea. So I won't be failing the Nivea yet as an alternative to Aquaphor. Although, wow, that side just feels really lovely. It does. I'm getting so excited about this now. So with my concealing brush, this is one I got from Superdrug, something like £6 or £7. Just buff. How are you all, beautiful ones? Are you all okay? I woke up this morning with a nasty headache, a backache, creaking old bones, and I realised I'm nearly 51 years old. I did. Sad when that happens, isn't it, guys? It is. And I can't actually see what I'm doing, because as well as all of that, I'm blind as well. Well, not blind, but slightly visually impaired without my spectacles on. Now then, what do we think to that? Coming for an extreme close-up. It's very yellow, isn't it? I didn't realise how yellow it was on the when I shot the video. I did put just a swatch down there, and it looked okay, but the lighting's totally different than it is today too. So yeah, no, I think I might go in with the paler one, the buff one on this side, although it's going to make me look like a panda bear, and it's going to go against everything I believe in, which is the fact, you know, that I think sternly, or I just believe that we should really be trying to match our concealers to our skin tones. We should. Excuse me while I get this out of the old box. So this is the next one I've got for us to try today, and this is the upside down. My bad. Stretch concealer, and this is in shade Buff. There it says there. Can you see that? Focus. Anyway. Just take my word for it. If you can't see that, it's called Buff. So these are wax based. So and because I'm just going to get a different brush. because the lip balms have lots of waxes in, which actually give the balm its shape and its firmness as well. That's why I'm using these today, because I just felt that if I went in with a silicone base concealer, it may get a little bit messy. So again, beautiful ones, ring finger, just load some of that one on there. And it does feel quite nice on the old fingers. It's got a really disturbing sort of putty plasticine sort of smell, and that'll be the waxes because it hasn't got any fragrance in it at all. So can you see that there on the end of that finger? And on this eye, I'll just go in with the... Oh, you can see it's way too pale, can't you? I know a few of you out there who love this pan dry sort of look. No names, you know who you are. I mean, look at how ridiculous I look now. Although, with a little bit of clever blending, that should definitely work itself. I need my glasses, I really do. So, anyway, you put the Aquaphor, the Blistex, just apply your concealer. And then to seal that lot off, we just need to go in with a quick layer of powder. Wow, can you see the difference between that one? And that demonstrates perfectly my my firm belief that you do need to try and match your concealers exactly, or as near as damn it, to your skin tone. I think that this one looks incredible, whereas that one just makes me look ridiculous, doesn't it? And this is what I see on YouTube all the time. And people don't stop there either. They go in with, shall I stop moaning about what people do on YouTube? Because I'm on YouTube too, aren't I? I am. I'm on YouTube, beautiful ones. House is called the house. Channel is called the House of Joseph. Shall I stop? I'm going to stop that right now. Okay, so this side, I should have just stuck with the warm tan, shouldn't I? So what I will do, I'll go and remove that layer, and when I come back, I'll try. Moustache has started to grow up my nostrils again, as it did about 6 months ago, and then it just started to behave itself. It's now getting a life of its own again. I'll go and remove that layer, and then because this stuff is £3.50, so I mean you could just bathe in it basically if you wanted to. Don't though. But no, what I'm trying to say there is the fact that do you know what I'm trying to say? I'll go and remove that layer, and when I come back, I'll apply some of that, and we'll apply some of the warm tan over it. I'll go and do that. So beautiful ones, again, go and get your Blistex or any lip balm you fancy using. Burt's Bees would work well, or Neutrogena. I know Neutrogena do a really nice Norwegian formulations or something like that. So again, we're just going to, and that just glides on. That feels beautiful. I found the Nivea slightly pulling actually, whereas this Blistex one just glides on. And I know that the original Blistex, it came in the little tube with a pointy end on it, had menthol in it, so that could cause severe issues around your eyes. If you're going to do this technique, just make sure you get the stick one, because it hasn't got menthol in it at all, or mentholatum. It's just going to wreak havoc with your eyes, and your eyes will start watering and tearing up. But can you see that? That's incredible, isn't it? And it's more than just the fact it's glossy or not even greasy, because it's not greasy, but it's reflecting a huge amount of light off my my eye area. Possibly why it's going to look, hopefully it's going to look amazing once this is done and we're all powdered down. So, right, okay, take two. So let's go in with the Stretch Concealer again in shade Warm Tan and see how we get on this time. So again, using ring finger. How many times am I going to say again? Just pick up a small amount of it. I'll show you how much I've got now. Can you see it on that finger there? I'm sure you all can. And just do exactly the same as you do. And that eye looks, I've just been upstairs into the bathroom, obviously to wash the old panda eye away, and that you just can't even see anything. It's just incredible, isn't it? This does go on really yellowy though to start off with, but then it just blends in perfectly to one's eyes. And because we've got the lip balm on there, that is just gliding on, and it won't crease or anything. Hopefully it won't anyway, he says. And then we need a concealer brush. Which one should we use, beautiful one? Should we use the Real Techniques one? Why not? pink. Would be hot pink, wouldn't it? How gay am I? And I am gay, if any of you wanted to know that out there, by the way, in case you didn't know. And all we're doing there is just mixing the concealer with the lip balm on the eye area. Really, really loving the fact that, do you know what I mean, beautiful ones? That looks incredible, doesn't it? And it just feels so soft. It just feels so soft and hydrated. And my fine lines are have been blurred, haven't they? Do bear in mind this one's got powder on, this one hasn't. That hasn't really started to match my old skin tone. And then once you've got something on your under eyes, like the lip balm and the concealing duo or combination, it's an idea to go in with your ring finger again, just to buff gently with your finger, and that way you're just diffusing the product out a little bit more. And the heat from your fingers just helps them blend together, and just gives you a much more uniform or natural finish. It does. It just does. So it does. So yeah, application's possibly not the best in the world, but then again, I can't actually see anything without my glasses. So yeah, I think we're getting there, aren't we, beautiful ones? This eye I'm going to write off totally, because the Nivea is just useless. It's grabbed onto the powder, it's grabbed onto the concealer, it's just made it all look really, really messy. However, that side is looking really lovely, isn't it? It looks soft, it looks smooth. And do you remember the second I put the Blistex lip balm on, it did light my entire eye area up, and it is a lip balm. It's got nothing to do with the eye area. So why it's do you know what I'm saying there? Why it's doing that to my under eye area, or my entire eye contour area, to use the correct term, is anyone's guess, isn't it? But I'll just go in for a real close-up, beautiful ones. Camera's a bit dirty, so what do you think? And I'm not going to powder this side, because this side just grabbed onto the powder. So, my beautiful people, what have we learned today? Today we have learned that viral makeup techniques like the Aquaphor cream or stick lip balm thing under eyes as an under eye concealer, or a primer for under eye concealers, basically, can be done in England. It can. All you need to do is just think outside the box, or think a little bit laterally. Nivea, the first option, £2.50. So again, I'll find out, and I'll either put that down here, or I'll link everything else into the description or description today. But the clear winner for today for me was definitely the Blistex. Beautiful. And it's just, there's nothing else I can say about it really. My under eye now feels really, really, really soft, and just and plump as well. It does feel really plump, and I don't think you can see any fine lines there really. Possibly lots, but can we pretend there aren't any fine lines there just for today? No, you know what I'm trying to say, don't you, beautiful ones? Is the fact that something which costs £3.50 and is readily available in England, you can replicate the whole Aquaphor thing if you want to. And the ingredients in the Blistex lip infusions, it's called, isn't it, are virtually identical to the Aquaphor lip balm stick. Don't use the lip balm ointment or the Aquaphor ointment, because you may as well just go in with a layer of Vaseline, and it won't allow you to put so much concealer down or anything like that, and it will influence the way the whole thing looks. And when you come to powder up, it's going to just get really messy. So just do make sure you have a lip balm stick. As I said, I got these from Sainsbury's yesterday, readily available in the UK. So why people are buying stuff off Amazon or iHerb, or just not even buying it, I don't know really. And that's what this channel is all about, isn't it? Finding alternatives to cheap and effective alternatives to stuff which is doing rounds on social media. It is. So which side do you prefer, guys? Do you prefer the Nivea side, or do you prefer the Blistex side? Let me know in the comments, would you please? And also, would you also let me know in the comments if you've tried this hack, or is this technique, this piece of fluff, as is this flat's quite... All right, okay, stop moaning, stop waffling. No, can't start again, guys. Press on, man. Okay. What was I saying? Totally gone. If you've tried this hack, I'd really love to hear from you how your results got, how you got on with the results. Where did you get your Aquaphor from if you're outside the US? That's a really, really important one too, isn't it? And what sort of concealer did you use? Did you use a wax-based concealer, or just a long wear or self-setting concealer? Again, results would be brilliant, or just say hello. And that's it from me today, beautiful ones. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Similarly, consider subscribing. It helps the channel grow. And also have a wonderful Wednesday. Have a beautiful week. And I'll see you all very, very soon for the next tutorial. Take care.